SoFi stock today had a rough go. It was down over 6%, closing at just about $16 per share. And the last few months in general have been tough for SoFi shareholders, watching the stock rally nicely only to get pulled back down with heavy selling pressure every single time just to hover around that $15 to $16 mark. And there's so many reasons for this volatility here in SoFi. Maybe it's because the market doesn't like this stock right now because it was a SPAC and there's just, a bad taste, a negative sentiment really to SPAC stocks. Maybe it's because Chamath was involved in this company. A lot of people don't like Chamath. Big money maybe doesn't like Chamath. Who knows? Could be something to do with that. And some people may just not like SoFi because there's other opportunities in the fintech space that have been doing extremely well. Your traditional Visas, MasterCards, those keep chugging along just fine. Yeah, you have little pullbacks, but over the long term, those have proven to be good winners. Of course, you have Upstart, which is absolutely destroying returns for this year. You have companies like Affirm that are doing extremely well with massive partnerships. So the fintech space, guys, it's popping, and SoFi didn't get the memo or the invitation really to that party. But regardless of your view on SoFi, today I want to share with you some news that I came across that I think is absolutely huge. I think it's going to be a massive catalyst here for SoFi, and it's really a confirmation in a way that we're about to see this. So guys, if you appreciate this timely video, hit the like button. That's all I ask for. It helps me out a ton on here. Now, before I get into the news, I just want to make it clear that I do hold a position in SoFi stock, and I did enter this a couple of weeks ago. And it's interesting because I didn't really directly buy the stock here a couple of weeks ago. What I actually did was I sold some put options because I figured, you know what, I want to buy some of this stock, but if I can collect some premium and lower my cost basis by just selling some puts, I'll take assignment on it. I end up owning the shares and I end up owning it at a lower cost basis. So a few weeks ago, I sold the September 17th $15.50 puts. I collected 60-cent premium, which equates, of course, to $60 in premium. And if SoFi was below $15.50 by the time of expiration, which was September 17th, I would get assigned the stock. If it's above that, I just keep the premium. I can resell some more puts and just rinse and repeat. By doing this, guys, I was pretty much accepting the fact that I was willing to buy SoFi stock under $15.50 per share. Sure enough, guys, on September 17th, SoFi closed at $15.05. So this is below the $15.50 strike that I sold, which means that I did take assignment of the shares. But remember, I collected 60 cents premium on each share, and each contract is 100 shares. So that really equates to my cost basis here for these shares at being $14.90 per share. Now, if any of that was confusing to you, leave a comment down below. I'll reply to comments and I'll clarify that for you if you are looking to get into options. But essentially, in a nutshell, instead of buying SoFi at whatever the market price was the day I sold those puts, which is like around $15.60, somewhere around there, I ended up getting this at a discount at $14.90. But anyways, after the news I'm about to share with you guys here today, I may actually add some more to this position. I may sell some more puts on this, we'll see. But I am bullish here on SoFi. So one of the biggest things investors are waiting for here when it comes to SoFi is their approval for their banking license. This banking license application still needs to be accepted by the FDIC and the Federal Reserve because there are strict guidelines, guys, to getting this license. Essentially, when SoFi gets this, it'll allow them to hold customer deposits and use that money to loan out to other customers, which will of course give SoFi much more flexibility for their loans and ultimately lead to more profitability for the business. Right now, what happens without this license, SoFi has to go to one of the big banks, for example, take a loan from them, pay them an interest rate, and then they can take that loan and loan it out to a customer, pay that customer an even higher interest rate, and then SoFi just keeps the spread on there. Once they get that license, they don't need to go to that big bank. They can just use whatever deposits customers deposit into their accounts, take that money, loan it out to other customers, charge a lower interest rate or whatever it is, make more money on those loans, and best part, it's FDIC insured. So once SoFi can remove that reliance on these big banks or other lenders that they're currently kind of stuck with and have to take money from, it's going to make the business a lot more profitable. So why am I bringing this up now? Well, because today we got some big news which hints to this being very close. Back in March, SoFi announced that they were going to be acquiring a bank called the Golden Pacific Bancorp, and this was in an effort to expedite their ability to obtain a banking license. Acquiring a bank like this makes life easier, it's an easier route for them instead of starting from scratch, and SoFi recognized this. In the same press release there, SoFi said that they are committed to spending $750 million in capital to pursue its national digital business plan. $750 million is a big chunk of money for a business of SoFi's size. They're not that large right now, guys. So this was a big pledge for them to say, we're serious about this, we want that license. But now, why is this relevant today? Well, this morning, SoFi announced that they'll be issuing some convertible senior notes to raise capital, and the amount that they want to raise is, you guessed it, $750 million. Do you think it's a coincidence that they planned in March to raise $750 million, and then today they announced that they are raising $750 million? I don't know. I think you can put two and two together here in this situation and see that this $750 million is probably going to be used directly for this banking license. And SoFi wouldn't have done this unless the license is pretty much imminent. It's very close. They're probably about to announce it anytime now. And this, as an investor, is really good because it tells me that, management isn't out there just kind of blowing smoke. They're actually saying things, they're executing on what they're saying, they're implementing on what they're saying, and that instills a lot of confidence. So guys, in my opinion, this is actually huge news. And the market saw this today as a negative because they're issuing debt essentially, they're diluting, more shares on the market, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, they're delivering on what they said. They're trying to raise money. They raise that money now, and they're going to be using it for their banking license. While everyone may be expecting this license at some point, the market's really punishing the stock here, for the reason that I mentioned before, SPAC, Chamath, whatever. And they aren't really, giving this company the credit that it deserves, in my opinion, for what it has achieved thus far and what it will achieve in the future. I think that once this announcement's made, once this is official that SoFi is now a bank, I think we'll see that selling pressure kind of ease off and the stock could possibly rally to all-time highs. Now, we don't have Q3 filings yet, but perhaps this is why Bill Miller and Dan Loeb, two famous investors, have been buying SoFi shares in Q2 and possibly even added to this in Q3 in anticipation for this big announcement. So I don't know when SoFi is going to announce this. Could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be next month. Who knows? Maybe by the end of this year. All I do know is that, the signs that I see are pointing towards that they are getting this license. It's all but confirmed here. And today may have been that last piece of the puzzle that they needed to confirm that license. So like I said, in the meantime, I'll probably be buying more SoFi shares here on this weakness. I think long term, it's probably a great opportunity to have some fintech exposure with this company. And here, even analyst guys are still very bullish. They have over 50% upside from current prices. And I think over the long term, SoFi is going to easily surpass this price and go much, much higher. Remember, this is not a quick flip for me. This is not kind of a short-term trade. This is a very long-term trade. It is a speculative trade for me right now, but it's one that, I'm willing to hold for many years to come because I think that thus far, the company has done well. They've proven themselves out. Management team is good. Fundamentals are good. Growth is good. So I'm willing to put some money into this. Anyways, guys, love to hear in the comments down below. Are you on the SoFi train? Are you skeptical? What's kind of keeping you away from this? Is it the whole SPAC thing? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, if you have any questions on my option play here to get into these SoFi shares at a discount, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to explain myself further. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one.